Alternative approaches. Some international relations scholars are dissatisfied with using history, philosophy, or behavioral tools. Some scholars approaching the study of international relations from the constructivist perspective have turned to discourse analysis to answer the foundational questions of international relations. To trace how ideas shape identities, constructivists analyze culture, norms, procedures, and social practices. They probe how identities are shaped and change over time. They use texts, interviews, and archival material, and they research local practices by riding public transportation and standing in lines. By using multiple sets of data, they create thick description. The case studies found in Peter Katzenstein's edited volume The Culture of National Security use this approach. Drawing on analyses of Soviet foreign policy at the end of the Cold War, German and Japanese security policy from militarism to anti-militarism, and Arab national identity, the authors search for security interests defined by actors who are responding to changing cultural factors. These studies show how social and cultural factors shape national security policy in ways that contradict realist or liberal expectations. The postmodernist scholars seek to deconstruct the basic concepts of the field, such as the state, the nation, rationality, and realism, by searching texts, or sources, for hidden meanings underneath the surface, in the subtext. Once those hidden meanings are revealed, the postmodernists seek to replace the once orderly picture with disorder, to replace the dichotomies with multiple portraits. Cynthia Weber, for example, argues that sovereignty, the independence of a state, is neither well-defined nor consistently grounded. Digging below the surface of sovereignty, going beyond evaluations of the traditional philosophers, she has discovered that conceptualizations of sovereignty are constantly shifting, depending on the needs of the moment and the values of different communities. The multiple meanings of sovereignty are conditioned by time, place, and historical circumstances. Karen T. Litvin shows how norms of sovereignty are shifting to address ecological destruction, although the process remains a contested one. These analyses have profound implications for the theory and practice of international relations, which are rooted in state sovereignty and accepted practices that reinforce sovereignty. Postmodernist scholars also seek to find the voices of the others, those individuals who have been disenfranchised and marginalized in international relations. Christine Sylvester illustrates her approach with a discussion of the Greenham Common Peace Camp, a group of mostly women who in the early 1980s walked more than 100 miles to a British Air Force base to protest plans to deploy missiles at the base. Although the marchers were ignored by the media and thus were voiceless, they maintained a politics of resistance, recruiting other political action groups near the camp and engaging members of the military stationed at the base. In 1988, when the Intermediate Range Nuclear Force Treaty was signed, dismantling the missiles, the women moved to another protest site, drawing public attention to Britain's role in the nuclear era. Scholars in this tradition also probe how the voiceless Dalit, or untouchables, have fought for rights in South Asia, how the disabled have found a voice in international forums, and how some, like children born of rape, have not found a voice. No important question of international relations today can be answered with exclusive reliance on any one method. History, whether in the form of an extended case study, Peloponnesian War, or a study of multiple wars, correlates of war or militarized interstate disputes, provides useful answers. Philosophical traditions offer both cogent reasoning and the framework for the major discussions of the day. But behavioral methods dominate because they are increasingly using mixed methods, combining the best of social science methods and other approaches. And the newer methods of discourse analysis, thick description, and postmodernism provide an even richer base from which the international relations scholar can draw.